Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Oh, that's from a movie. Never mind. So it's October 8th. This is the growth marketing team. This is our weekly recap call. We're going to do a few things we don't normally do recorded because we want to start to share what happens in this meeting before the button. So we've got a little bit of housekeeping. My quick housekeeping is I would love to invite the folks on this team to bring your cross-functional kind of stable counterparts on projects you're working on onto this call when you have wins together, so we can showcase the way that we're working with other teams. I think there's a lot of amazing stuff happening behind the scenes where we are partnering with folks in the marketing, in product, or other parts of the company. Not everybody has a call like this, so I think it would be really awesome to invite them to join in. And then also they'll get to see how we do this meeting, and maybe they can spread the good word. This is a fun way to celebrate. So just encourage everyone to think next week who you could invite. And with that, I'll hand it off to Michael Preuss.
Thanks, Danielle. Hey, everyone. Just really excited to introduce Tina, who's on the call here. She's joining our digital experience team, and it's going to help us in collaborating on some user experience needs on some of the bigger pieces of work we're looking to pin down in our Q4 OKR candidate. So stuff like marketing design system and CMS. So Tina, I thought I just kind of put 3 questions together, mostly not serious, but just so that we can get to know you a little more. Do you have access to the agenda doc?
I do.
Awesome.
Should I just go for it?
Jump on in.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tina. I'm located in Canada in a small picturesque coastal community called Half Moon Bay. It's on the Sunshine Coast. It's about 40 minutes from Vancouver. That's where I live. What was the next one? Water, beach, or mountain? I'm surrounded by all of those things. If I were forced to pick, I'd probably pick the mountains, I guess. I'm not a hardcore mountaineer or anything like that. And since having a baby, I have a toddler now, I haven't been in the mountains, but I do miss going out for hikes and that subalpine air and the whiskey jacks, landing on your shoulder, begging for treats. Yeah, so mountains. Karaoke song. I hope I don't have to sing it. I think if this were like 2 years ago, I'd probably pick something a lot cooler. But these days, the only song that ever gets me an applause is Baby Beluga. So that's going to be my song. That'll be my karaoke song.
All right, Shane, take it away with Baby Beluga. No, just kidding. Thanks, Tina. Welcome to the team. We're so thrilled to have you. And yeah, anyone on this call, just feel free to reach out. Tina's awesome. I've worked with her in the past. She's just a wonderful person. And I know she's going to bring just so much good stuff for what we're trying to do in Q4. And with that, it's the moment you show up for, you're all waiting for. We all know it's coming. Shane Rice.
Man, y'all are building up the pressure. Here we go. This is a classic. Take it back to 1995. Green Day. So, as of this call, we are 73.63% of the way through the quarter. Going into our pace so far this quarter. Oh, hold on. Let me share my screen. I meant to do that. Got distracted with the music and the build up there. So you can see these numbers. All right, great. So 73.63% of the way through the quarter. We're looking at website traffic growth, 20% year over year is our goal. So we are at risk there. This continues to go down. We knew this was coming. September, we had a major announcement last year around fundraising, and then we also increased spending on display ads at that time. So, we had a lot of volume for page views coming from that display advertising, but it wasn't really translating to MQLs or inquiries at that time. So, just take that with grain of salt, saying last year a lot of this growth was in channels that we're not replicating now. Have the breakout for the product, strategic marketing buckets there. I want to get down to MQLs. I do want to talk about, so in August, we were all very concerned with the pace that we were seeing MQLs come in with the anticipation that September would see an increase and that we would continue that increase in October. And so I'm really happy to report that is exactly what has happened. So we continue to see pace picking up week over week. So, this week, the pace of, we're on pace for attaining 70% of our MQL goal for the large segment. That's up almost 2.5% week over week. So that pace is picking up. So that's something that I'm taking some encouragement from, and I wanted to make sure I pointed out to the team here. So that's where we're at with page views, users, and MQLs. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Luke for show and tell. Luke is not here. So I'm glad I had it on the grid view so I could see that after I invited him to take over. So I will just say we're going to kick off show and tell. This is a time for anybody on the team to share something they're working on or have accomplished this week. And actually, so the first item is Hanif, and Hanif can't be on the call because he is doing school pickup. And he asked me to read this for him. So we're making good progress on improving the site health of about.gitlab.com, specifically the marketing pages. Starting on July 14th, we started with almost 2,000 errors. Right now, we stand at 207 errors, which is amazing, right? Like dropping errors, like almost, 1,600 errors in a couple of months is amazing, right? But the even more amazing thing is that we also, during that same period, there were an additional 5,014 errors that came in, and we fixed those too. So we're down 207 where we would have been, closer to 6,000 or 7,000 if nobody had been paying attention to this. So hats off to Hanif, hats off to everyone that's helped with making sure that we're containing these website errors. These are things like, broken links, duplicate content, duplicate meta descriptions, page titles, all these things. And so in our agenda, there is a link to a video that Hanif recorded on Loom where he's going through some of those changes and highlighting things that have been fixed. So I encourage you to watch that video when you have some time. It's only 3 minutes long, but it's really exciting for me to see that, we're keeping pace with these errors and keeping those under control. So with that, I'll pass it over to Brock.
Hey, yeah, thank you. So I've been working on with Erica a booth video. So this one specifically was for AWS, but Erica and I had in mind to build out, Erica Flowers, to build out sort of like a asset library that we can come back to and use in the future, point teams to. I threw a link to what it's starting to look like. It's very early in the doc, but I wonder if I can share my screen. Oh, Erica's here as well. So let me see. I don't know, and somebody can chime in if that's the case, but I don't know if playing a video with the shared screen actually works, but I'm just gonna play this one.
GitLab is a complete DevOps platform delivered as a single application. GitLab gives you powerful collaboration capabilities like agile planning, version control, and code review. With GitLab, you get flexible CI/CD that enables you to deploy anywhere. And GitLab comes with built-in security and monitoring out of the box. Are you ready to deliver better products faster, work more efficiently, and build trust by reducing security and compliance risk? Try GitLab today.
Yeah, so that in particular was kind of a win because we're pulling in a lot of the elements from this brand refresh. I think a lot of those, Vic's on the call, right? A lot of those were by her, and it's a huge help to me. I think they're very expressive, and a lot of the work's already done from my perspective. Like I can just grab it, get to animating, and it already clearly expresses a lot of these ideas that we are working on anyway. So in the future, this is going to be a great opportunity for lots of collaboration between design, digital production. This was done with the events team, and I'm really excited about it. So as we build out this library, I'll probably be linking more in future weeks, but I just wanted to show the early stages. Let me get back to the doc here. I think Suri's not on the call, but she wrote a case study on the University of Surrey. And the case study is a great example of the version control and collaboration use case. I don't know if there's anybody else here who can voice that better. But after that, there's Becky.
Hey all, as per usual, the dog has picked up a squeaky toy right in time for this, so apologies if you hear that. So I am just going to share two things that I actually should not, this is not credit to me, this is credit to Will and Kristen. I believe, is this showing the right screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
we see an issue with Will's.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. So we just did, they're scheduled, they're not out yet, putting some organic social campaign around case studies that are in publication. So the thing about this that we're doing is these case studies help with our enterprise value prop, and then being in other publications helps with legitimacy. So we just kind of have them over here. So these are taking things that the PR and comms team have already done and then just amplifying them and using it to help drive some value to our enterprise product. So you can look through kind of the stuff that we're doing here with Will. And then these are the posts written out from social if you want to have a look at them for how we're going to be doing them. And then also I just wanted to call out, this is stuff that they put together for the tone of voice guidelines. We are in the process right now of pulling in information. So here, Will and Kristen put a bunch of data that they have, and qualitative and quantitative from social. So we have demographics for followers, users, audience by gender. So this is an important thing to look at. Like, okay, so our audience right now is 8% women. Is that something that when we talk about the tone of voice, do we want to try and make sure that that tone of voice is more open to encourage more demographics? You can look at the age, 25 to 34 is our largest range. Then there's listening data, which is very interesting, mobile breakdown, technology breakdown. They did a word cloud, and then Kristen put together this nice little summary of kind of the tone of voice that social is using right now and some examples of how it was used currently. So the next steps on this are we're going to take this and then work through putting together a more comprehensive tone of voice document. So that is it for me on that. Let me see who is next. Niall.
Hi, yeah. So I'm just going to do a quick run through of earlier in the week we're using keyword position data to try and analyze any losses we've had and identify what the cause root was. So just share my screen quickly. This may not look very exciting to most people, but it allows us at the end of every month to
Niall,
yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're showing your desktop. We don't see a browser or anything you're looking at. That's okay. Happens to all of us.
This time.
You're good.
Basically what we can do is we can pull all the keyword positions we've lost, and in this case it's going from what we had into top 10 positioning and suddenly went to 0, and we can group the content folder types, and what it means is we can identify if there has been changes implemented in certain sections of the website that may have impacted our ranking. And instead of coming back later down the road to try and fix these, we can identify the issues by clicking into the URLs, checking what changes were made, and if it's a template or other format, we can then set up a kind of a fix. So instead of coming back to fix something afterwards, it's kind of hit at the source, and it should be in the long run a very good exercise. There's a video was also created during the week about it. There's a link on the issue if anyone wants to watch it. That's just one of the actions we were taking this week. So I'd just like to pass it to Chrissy.
Hey y'all, I have a couple of content updates for you, so I will share my screen. All right, so the first thing is that we have updated the scaled continuous integration and delivery ebook. So this was one of our oldest CI assets. It was done in the year of our Lord 2017. So we have done a lot since then. And so this was an asset that just didn't look like GitLab. So it has been updated for a new decade and has a lot of links. It utilizes that great ebook template that we created. So this looks way more in line with content that we're already producing right now. And we're going to be recategorizing it as an ebook, just with the new information that we have. It was categorized as a white paper before. So this is an asset that the merge is live. So if you go to that page where you were downloading it before, you see this new asset. So as we continue to iterate, this is a process that I'll be doing a lot going forward. So hopefully we can learn from that. And then we have another CI blog out called 3 YAML Tips. So this blog is sort of a continuation of using CI templates and really talking about maximizing the YAML file. And this is more awareness level. So it's just talking about YAML tips and then just a little interjection of GitLab here and there, just as an example of how to do things. So some more CI awareness content. I think this will be really helpful. I'm looking forward to seeing what the data is on this next week. And yeah, so busy on the CI content front. Hope y'all enjoy it. And then next is, that was it. It ends with me.
All right, moving on to the shout out section of the call. This is just a time for anyone to give a thank you or a shout out to somebody who helped you work on something or made your week awesome. Matt, you have the first one.
Thank you. I wanted to thank, thank Brandon for running through the new enterprise page design I put together with me. I always like to get the developer perspective early on. It's like when you think you're living healthy, but you go to the doctor to confirm it. And he says, I have a few more years to live. So thank you, Brandon, because yeah, it's always good to catch these things early. And then next is Becky.
Sure. I have a bunch of them on here. So first, I wanted to shout out to Will and Kristen and Jen for the case study work. Jen put the list together of the case studies that would be relevant. Will and Kristen, like I showed you before, put together the social posts. And then also Will and Kristen for pulling that social data. And then I wanted to shout out Matt for keeping up with communication on the other teams, because I am on all those issues. I keep seeing who comments on it. So it's really helpful, especially for the teams outside of our group, to know what's going on. And then Bree, Suri, Erica, Brandon, and Lauren, thank you so much for making great progress on those phase 2 issues. I mean, a bunch of stuff got out the door this week, so it was amazing. And that is it for me. So on to Danielle.
Yes, I just wanted to thank everyone who's been working on doing more video-based updates. And I'm not sure who organized it all, the playlists. Maybe it was many people, maybe it was you, Becky, I'm not sure. But whoever did the organizing, thank you for that. Got great feedback from Todd that he's just feeling like he's able to get his updates from our team and know what's going on, which is also awesome for other teams when they're working with us and collaborating. So everyone who's doing video, I know maybe it's new for you. This is definitely something when I first joined GitLab, I was just like, wait, what? You want me to do what? And then have these on the internet? But it turns out it's a really awesome way for us to be async. So just very grateful for everyone who's taken that leap. Thank you. Yes, we're all going to be YouTube influencers together, Michael. And I didn't look at the agenda in the last 5 minutes, but is there someone after me?
I have the next one. Yeah.
You go for it.
Well, I just want to give a shout out to John Jeremiah for his continued collaboration on trying to work through creating more cohesive and coherent content journeys. For those who don't know, the content marketing team kind of handles the awareness into consideration content, and then we hand it off to product marketing to cover the rest of consideration to purchase. And it's been a long journey kind of getting us all aligned onto what that story that content's trying to tell. And in this past week, we've just had some really great conversations about next steps, and we're going to start storyboarding out the content. I'm just really appreciative of everything he brings to the table. So thanks to John. And Mike, you have the next, Michael, sorry, you have the next 3.
Call me whatever you want, Erica. I'm good.
I started off by the MP. It's like, who is that?
I'm just too lazy to write my full name. I'm going to wrap the next 3 up just in a big thank you. And I know I'm aware it may come across as sounding like I'm complaining, but or whining, but the onboarding process, I've been trapped in it for the last week, and it's felt like the sea is just slowly going above my head. But without Kathy Hilling, Dale Brown, Craig Mestel, Steve Trong, and Alicia Hansen, the water would have gone above my head. But luckily they jumped in on all the parts that they're pros at and have really helped guide me through it. So I really appreciate having access to those people and how responsive they've been to teach and guide me. So great people if you ever need them. And there's one more here. Brock.
Yeah, I actually meant to do this during the show and tell, but I wanted to give a shout out to William Chia, I believe it's pronounced, because he jumped up to provide the VO for that video I showed. So that kind of wrapped something up before it became a problem, not having to track someone down or figure out how that was going to happen. And not only that, provided more takes, even though his deck was getting built in the background. And I really appreciate that. That takes time. It also takes a certain amount of energy that we don't normally have to provide in a day. So I really appreciate it. And I think that's it for thank yous.
Yeah, I think we are ready for Mr. Shane Rice to play us out.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got to play us out.
It's like every week you still are very surprised that this happens.
I know. I'm used to the play in and not used to the play out. Hold on.
Baby
I'll keep
Beluga
talking.
in the deep blue sea. I don't actually know how that song goes anymore. Baby Beluga.
You nailed it.
Does anyone?
You nailed
Did
it.
I get it? I
Yeah.
haven't sung that in 20 years, but yeah.
That
All right, here
and
we go.
Yellow Submarine, I swear, is the same song though. It's confusing to me.
I'm just gonna see how many copyright dings we can get where they take away
Nice.
monetization on our videos. So we'll go with this one for today. See if we get a ding for this one. If you know the dance, you can do it.
I know the dance.
Come on.
Oh, no, I can't do it on camera.
Okay.
It'll get
come on.
used against me someday.
All right.
You can
Well,
let it play for a little bit. We don't mind copyright dings.
I don't know if you saw last week, but we did get one for Arcade Fire. They said we can't monetize that video.
I mean, darn, we're not going to make our 16 cents.
I know, it really like just kind of breaks everyone's
We're
heart.
influencers though.
The intro of the song is so long. How did this become popular? Like, they have not said a single word.
Cut this for the radio edit.
Oh, I'm playing the extended version. Somehow the extended version ended up on this playlist that I randomly picked.
I hope you all have an amazing rest of the week. I'll see you on Marketing Strategy and Tactics. Thank you.
See y'all.